United Soybean Board is committed to this. They have checkoff dollars that are going for research and development, and they're committed to this high-oleic space. And there really are 4 pillars here that have been identified that need to be supported. And this isn't a flash in the pan. They've made a commitment to, long-term sustainability of that. And so what are the product standards and the quality control that goes into that? One of the concerns that we have as an industry, we know the impact that high-oleic fatty acids in soybean oil can have in the dairy cow diet, but if we're weak on the protein side because we haven't processed effectively or over-processed, we may end up losing animal performance as a result of that. So your job, my job as a consulting nutritionist is to look into that space as well and make sure that that gets done right. The oleic acid, we know how that's going to perform, but the rest of it is the protein fraction. And that's something that the message that we're trying to get out there as an advisory group. Secondly, product forms and cow performance. The USB is committed to identifying what the optimal particle size is, and there's some research in the pipeline right now to try to identify it. We have a feeling of what the proper particle size should be. However, we don't know exactly what that number should be. And then dietary formulation considerations. That's another area that we're focused on as a group of advisors, and the USB is focused on to provide input to you so that those numbers on high-oleic that are going into the model are the proper numbers to represent the product that you're using. And then lastly, what's the economic piece of this? One of the concerns that I have, there are really 3 major players that are involved in this high-oleic space: the grower, the processor, and the dairy farmer. And it really starts at the dairy gate. What advantage economically are they going to gain by using a high-oleic soy product? And then back calculating into what might be shared with the other players in this. The risk that the soybean grower is taking, or perceived risk, hopefully that's going away with the course of time, but they expect some sort of a premium to grow high-oleic soybeans, and then the processor has to segregate. We have to keep those high-oleic soybeans separate from conventional soybeans. So there's some investment for the processor. There's some risk on the grower side, and the dairy farmer needs to have a benefit to this as well. So those are things that we continue to talk about and fund through USB. Thank you for attending. Thank you for your time.